Hello, my name is Marcus, and welcome back to the channel. We have some major Dragon Ball Super news that has just dropped in the past couple days. I was debating back and forth the whole past day whether or not I should cover it or not, because last time I commented on some major Dragon Ball Super manga news, I got called a clickbaiter. And even though, everything I said can easily be Googled, so I'm putting out a PSA at the beginning of this one. Everything that I'm commenting on today can be Googled. I'm not like, I don't have like a super secret source. Everything I'm getting ready to state it was either said by a content creator that's way bigger than me or a news source that's way bigger than me. I'm talking about hundreds of thousands, if not millions of followers, where, millions of people follow these particular entities, and I'm just giving my spin on it. So, if you want to have that clickbait conversation, please take it elsewhere. I'm not going back and forth. So, okay, with that out of the way, let's get started here. So Dragon Ball Super has let it loose that they're only doing the Beerus arc, the Golden Frieza arc, and the Tournament 6 arc with Hit and Kaba, so on and so forth. They're not redoing the Goku Black arc or the Tournament of Power arc. So, I'm coming at this from a standpoint that y'all should have seen Dragon Ball Super by now, or at least have an idea of the numerous arcs that involve Dragon Ball Super. That's the Beerus, Golden Frieza, Tournament 6, Goku Black, and the Tournament of Power. So, with that out of the way, it seems like they have finished the vast majority of the Beerus and Golden Frieza arcs, and they're taking a huge amount of the team, the animators and whatnot, and they're moving them over to the Galactic Prisoner or / the Moro arc, so that we can get that saga a whole lot faster than what was originally planned. This is good news. When all this news first came out, I feel like I was kind of excited. We were all excited that Dragon Ball Super was coming back. I don't know why the sun is reflecting off my lips right there and not, there we go. That's a lip break. but, I feel like we all kind of pretended to be excited, but, do we really need a redo of the Beerus arc and the Golden Frieza? I mean, we already have 2 of each. They're in the movie form and they're in anime form. Personally, for me, I wouldn't have minded if they just would have went straight to the Moro arc, but I guess they really wanted to correct the mistakes of the animation from the Dragon Ball Super anime, per se. Because I think the definitive version of the Beerus arc and the Golden Frieza arc are the 1.5-hour movies. Not necessarily the anime. Because, if I'm being completely honest, it didn't really add any major story elements from the Beerus arc or the Golden Frieza arc. It just extended them. We got a little bit of filler from each of those arcs, but essentially it's still the same story. I feel like we really didn't even really get any extra fighting from the anime either. It's essentially the same fights, same finishers, same core story elements of how we get Super Saiyan God, how Beerus comes to be, how Golden Frieza gets his new form, how he gets defeated by Goku Super Saiyan Blue, the unveiling of Super Saiyan Blue, how Golden Frieza ends up destroying the Earth after Vegeta is about to beat him, and he comes back, or Whis does his little time reversal thing, and then Goku kills him with the Kamehameha. So, it's essentially the same story from movie to anime. And, the animation within the movies is actually really good. It was the anime where the animation in both of those arcs were terrible. So, did I really need a redo of these arcs? No, I didn't, but I guess maybe for your casual fans or your new fans that are not really too keen on, what happened within those arcs to get these story elements, I guess it kind of makes sense. And, of course, money. It's not like they don't know our fan base. Whatever they crank out and give it to us, whether it be, a remake of Dragon Ball Z, Dragon Ball Z Kai, Dragon Ball Super remake, whatever, manga, us as core Dragon Ball fans, we're going to consume it no matter what. For me personally, I wouldn't have been upset if they just continued right along with the Galactic Patrol Prisoner Moro arc, for sure. So I guess with this news, I mean, if you're gonna remake any of them, I mean, I guess it kind of makes sense, because I really didn't have that much of a problem with the animation from the Goku Black arc. Definitely not with the Tournament of Power arc. I feel like that was masterclass when it comes to the animation element, especially when Goku reaches his Ultra Instinct forms and he's fighting against Jiren. So, I mean, if we're taking that level of animation and adding it to the Beerus and the Golden Frieza arcs, I mean, I guess it makes sense, but I just not necessarily think that it was absolutely something that we all needed for sure. Now, what are my sources? Like I said, again, other content creators. There's hundreds, if not thousands, of people that talk about Dragon Ball on the internet, on YouTube, on TikTok, on Instagram. I'm just giving my take on it, bro. That's it. I don't know anybody from Japan. I don't know anybody from Shueisha. I don't know anybody from Toei that's like, I'm calling on the phone like, hey, what's up with this? Like, nah, man, I'm Googling. I'm doing my Googles and I'm just researching just like y'all. I'm not anybody special, bro. So I have to keep saying it, because on videos like this, you know, anybody that's ever been involved in like news breaking content creation like this, you know, it's always just going to be some idiots out in the woodworks. This guy's fake. He doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about. Just blah, blah, blah. I'm like, all right, bro, do you, man? Do you? Or just do some Googles so we can, you know, move on here. So, like I said, am I excited? I'm excited about the aspect of, you know, we're going to be getting the Moro arc sooner than expected. You know, I was thinking like maybe in like 2 years or so. Hopefully, you know, once the Beerus and the Golden Frieza arcs come out by the end of this year. It starts in October, I believe. So it's probably going to run through like the end of Christmas through the beginning of January. Hopefully by maybe like next March, April, we should all be buckling down and watching the Moro arc. That would be fantastic. So another big thing, you know, are they going to reanimate the Broly arc into episodes? Or are we just leaving that alone too? You know, I feel like the Broly was pretty much perfection in my opinion. I don't know, man. You know, I mean, I wouldn't mind seeing that get animated into specific episodes, but another one that we really don't need it, because the movie is already so good. We really don't need a remake of it. Does that make sense? And then, of course, if you didn't know, Dragon Ball Superhero, where Gohan becomes Beast Gohan, that doesn't take place until after the Granola arc. So that's after the Moro arc. So the Moro arc, then the Granola arc, and then we get Superhero, where, you know, Goku has mastered Ultra Instinct, and the Gohan becomes Beast, and then they have their little training session, you know, after all that takes place. So, you know, just to keep that in mind, just to keep our ducks there in a row so we don't get confused. I know they kind of jump back and forth within these timelines and whatnot, and you know, how they want to, and what order they want to give us the specific shows and arcs or whatnot, which is fine. It's not like Marvel and DC doesn't do the same thing, other animes as well. So I mean, I feel like us as you know, the content consumers should be kind of used to that at this point. It's almost like the showrunners expect us to know the correct order of the lineage of the arcs and whatnot at this point, which is fine, which I do. And surely if you're watching my channel, you have a generalized idea of the order of these arcs as well. So that's it, man. That's all I wanted to talk about this morning. So hopefully, you know, if you're a Dragon Ball fan, this is good news for me. If it's bad news for you, if you wanted to see the Goku Black and the Tournament of Power arcs get reanimated, you know, post in the comment section below with your quorums and qualms. I'd love to have a, you know, educated discussion about it. Like I said, I'm not willing to have an educated discussion about clickbaiting. If anybody mentions that, you're banned. Just saying. Just throwing it out there. So just giving a fair warning now. Don't do it. So, okay. With that, as always, appreciate the love and support that you guys give me. If you're interested in Dragon Ball, Dragon Ball Z, Dragon Ball Super, Dragon Ball GT, you're in the right place. You can follow me at youtube.com/MarTech79. I'm also on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. As always, my friends, thank you guys for the years of support, and I'll see you on the next one. Catch y'all later. Bye.